We're still waiting for live coverage to resume in the courtroom. There's a brief recess going on. Again, it gives me an opportunity to talk to Mathew about a couple of things. Let's just talk about procedure, if you will. All right, you're Butson. You're involved in all this going on now. You've heard so much, and we have certainly heard a lot about what's in the hand, what's in the hand. Let's just say, what if in that hand itself were those 4 rocks of maybe crack cocaine? What are you supposed to do with that at that point, so that it doesn't look like a cover-up, as we're hearing now coming out of the prosecution?
Well, there's so many questions. Number one, you're Butson. You've done nothing wrong. You've been engaged in this tragic struggle. Ultimately, 4 balls of crack cocaine fall out of somebody's hand. You're supposed to preserve the chain of custody so that you can later on show, if necessary, that this was the cocaine that was in Mr. Green's hand, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, somebody died. And you know that given...
Now, it's a homicide, or a possibility of a homicide.
It's a possibility. It's certainly going to be something that's going to be investigated. And you may want to take a hands-off approach and say, listen, Officer so-and-so, why don't you follow the normal procedure for me? The last thing I want to do is be accused of doing anything wrong. The argument on the one side is, isn't this like the fox guarding the chicken coop? And it leaves Butson open to so much criticism. Number one, I don't know if they can link the 4 rocks of crack to Malice Green. How do we know that Officer Butson didn't just get it from someone else and say that was in his hand? On the other hand, why would he be so foolish to do that? The prosecution is bringing this witness in to show that this man, who may have had a drug problem, was beaten to death 14 times over the head with a huge flashlight over 10 or 20 or 30 or $40 worth of crack. That's why they're putting this witness on, and that's the only reason why. He was killed over nothing. This wasn't a weapon. This wasn't a gun. This wasn't a knife. It wasn't a machine gun. It was 4 little pieces of crack in the guy's hand.
You just marvelously switched over to the other side. We're going to show our viewers. You're learning here. We're going to show our viewers the direct testimony of the technician that received those 4, as you put it, little pieces of crack cocaine. That's Mr. Lawrence. Let's go in.